Hey guys, Saturday afternoon here, just trying to catch up on these raised beds. Way behind on them as far as the growing season goes. Just full-time job and kids, you know how hard it is to get to stuff, but just clearing out the old broccoli here that went to seed, and other weeds and various plants that are done now. So just trying to get these cleaned up. I'll show you how bad it is right now real quick. We'll take a little tour. And then I'm gonna try and get this thing done today so we can start planting and transplanting into these beds. Yeah, so here's the one I just cleared out, but there's a ton of leaves left behind, so I gotta try and rake those out. And there's the old broccoli plants. We got a ton of harvest off those, so that was great. And you might be wondering why I'm not just gonna mulch this in or rake it in or compost the old broccoli. Well, most of this stuff got a little bit of powdery mildew, and I just don't feel like mixing it in with the compost because I've heard it can even survive that. So I just don't want to risk it. So yeah, these rows are just fully weeded, full of weeds, you know. So one major mistake, should have laid down some weed barrier at all the edges or just this whole area so that these weeds don't keep coming up again and again. So yeah, I pretty much got this other bed cleared out. Let me show you that one. This broccoli here has gone to flower and the bees love it. It's covered in bees right now, so I just don't want to mess with it, but I guess at some point I'll just have to. And then we got some I think this is lacinato kale, but yeah, some kale here which looks beautiful, but it does have a little bit of aphids on there, so we'll just wash that off and keep eating it. So we'll leave these for now. And then over here, these are volunteer peas and basically shelling peas, English peas that came up. So those just came up on their own. We've been just eating a little bit of snacks off of them here and there. We got some strawberries, so these beds are cool. Strawberries in them, but we mulched it with some straw we got, and the straw had seed in it, so we're getting that kind of weed, so always be careful with that. We got the borage over here. Cool flowers, super pretty. The bees love it. So if you want to attract pollinators, plant some of that for sure. There's a bee right there. And then we've got some zucchini or something over here. I think that might have been a volunteer also. And more strawberries. Yeah, so these other two beds are already cleaned out. This one we kind of need to redo the gopher wire. Or wait, this might be the one that doesn't have any. Got to go back to the drawing board. But this one we got some English peas in there, so we're going to try and get a pea crop in before it gets too hot. Other than that, this one's cleared out. Then we've got our garlic and onions. That's about ready to harvest. We can start eating that, so that's great. And then the last one here is a ton of weeds, and this had some herbs in it. This was kind of the cabbage area. This was basically kind of a fail. We didn't pay attention. We let the pests get it. It just got bad. So classic example of taking on too much at a time when you're too busy. And yeah, I didn't want to go crazy with the winter garden, but it happened. It all got planted, and we just didn't keep up with it. So always keep in mind, it's better to focus on a small amount and make sure you do it right than to overextend yourself and end up with this kind of disaster we're in. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and weed eat at the rows on these, get this whole thing cleaned up and get some of the remainder of the weeds and old plants out. So I'll show you guys what it looks like afterwards. And also, don't leave now because there's a surprise at the end of this video. You'll see that's gonna be really cool. All right, so the weeds have been cleared out of here. I'll show you how that looks now. Looks a lot better now. Got these rows, these walkways cleaned up. And man, it's something about seeing a lot of weeds. A lot of weeds can just be super discouraging and really take the energy out of your wind out of your sail, really, and make you not even want to get to it. So it's real important to get these down. And again, if I could do this all over again, I would have definitely put weed barrier down. And that ties into just something I've learned over the years, but especially just with this homesteading experience in the last year. Don't take any shortcuts. Don't rush. Never rush. I rushed and threw these beds together because I just wanted to get crops going real quick as soon as I could. And you know what? It would have been worth it to, even if I had to wait a whole season out, it would have been worth it to do this the right way and put the weed barrier down, because these weeds are just killer. But got them down for now, and hopefully they're not going to be back until the next rainy season. So that's like 6-7 months at least from now. So we're good for now. So I'm gonna clean up the rest of these beds and get them ready and prep, but I'm gonna take a little break now. I'll do that later. In the meantime, I want to go show you something on the complete other side of the property. All right, so we're over on the north end of the property. This is the area where we did that beehive removal from that olive tree. So that's back over there. And right now I'm standing right in front of our loquat tree. So just wanted to show you guys this tree as it gets some fruit ripening on there. So yeah, this was of course here when we bought the place, and it's really big. It's like pushing 20 feet tall, probably 15 to 18 feet wide easily. And the cool thing about this tree is that we've done nothing to it, and it just does this. It just gets off fruit and it thrives. I've watered it like a handful of times over the course of owning this, but really basically done nothing, and haven't fertilized it either. And I'm thinking I probably should fertilize it soon. Hopefully that'll help the fruit. Maybe it'll make it taste better or get more and bigger fruit. All right, I'm gonna grab one and give a taste test. So the ripe ones are orange, kind of light orangish color. And they're not huge. They're decent size, like the size of a golf ball. And they spoil quick. A lot of them on the tree are spoiled and have bug and bird damage. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try, and we'll see how the flavor is. Wow. Really, really juicy. It actually dripped out as I bit into it. A lot of juice is just dripping out of this thing, which is crazy because this tree gets no water. Wow, this is a good one. So as these have started to slowly ripen, the kids have been picking them like almost every day and bringing them in the house, and I've tried a few bites here and there, and they haven't tasted that good, probably because they weren't ripe enough. But this one actually tastes really good. And this is crazy. This one has 4 seeds. So they have a good sized seed, or a pit you could call it. It's so slippery I can barely hold it. Jeez. We'll get another one. Good sized pit. Usually they only have one. Wow. It's actually really good. I'm surprised. It's very sweet. There's no tart anymore. It's hard to describe, but it's kind of like an apricot, a little bit. Kind of softer flesh, though. A little bit tougher skin than an apricot. Flesh is similar. A little bit of tartness, like a little bit of tanginess. Wow, that's really good. I'm gonna grab another one. Hang on. All right, well that one was so good that I had to get another one, and we can keep this flavor review going. Hopefully I can give you a little more in-depth review, but geez, it's hard to describe, but let's give another bite. Very juicy, sweet, similar to an apricot. A little tougher skin, a little bit tangy and tart. That's all I can describe it as, but it tastes very good. This one also has 3 seeds, so I guess some of them have a lot of seeds, some of them don't, because the ones the kids have been bringing in, I've only had 1 lately. Cool thing about these, they grow all over the place here in California. Literally, there's one on the side of the road on the way to my house that no one waters, no one does anything to, and it's full of fruit. And driving around town, I see these in people's backyards everywhere. So I don't know much of the history on them, but they're everywhere. If you know much about them or you have a story, share it in the comments down below, please. But tasty little fruit, awesome tree, no work involved, free fruit. Puts it off like once a year with a ton. You have to eat it quick because it goes bad. So there's a loquat, the forgotten loquat tree over on this side of the property, the north side. And flavor review, tastes great. So that's gonna wrap it up for now. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. Give us a big thumbs up. Share the video with a friend also, and we will see you next time.